Order, please. Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly has no grasp of the facts.
Shut the fuck up. No, prosecutor Oichi, it's you who has no grasp of the facts. Where are you going?
I'm gonna stretch.
Okay.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must... Don't mind me, just enjoying the view.
Oh no. Don't mind me, I'm not actually trying to show off the view. I really don't love that.
Anyway, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard. It's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. No. Incredible. I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency...
No. The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment. Autosave. Thank you, Your Excellency. No. No. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. Yes, of course. I mean...
I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
What? Hey! Miss Brett, you speak Japanese! The language we are currently speaking!
Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country, after all. But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
Because I'm silly.
My mother tongue
The Queen's English
is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones as much as possible. That's racist. That's really racist. But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with all of you on your own level. This is... what the fuck is... Dude, that's just so wrong.
Ah, well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this. The lavish consideration you so graciously afford us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. They've also done this exact twist like 4 times, or 3 times. Hold on.
That the foreigner could actually speak the language.
Yeah, the person that can't speak can actually speak. I think they did it... They kind of subverted it in the first game with the... I told you about the parrot. They do it in the second game, the 4th game, and I think the spin-off, the Leighton one.
Whatever, just continue.
The 4th one is the most blatant one, but, like, yeah, they're like, hey, we're gonna interpret for this person. We don't need to, though. So we're gonna finally hear our own words on the matter. Why do you just... I'm not complaining, actually. Never mind.
Because they are on...
Backwards?
No, inside out. Just wondering why it felt weird.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible causes of death besides the gunshot.
If there's some other way a man's life could be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably wouldn't pick up on it anyway. Man, you racist.
Not only that, she just
gave us the hint.
Mm-hmm.
The most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in the Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it.
I hope that is the last time I will have to sully my lips with coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh! Forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
Not at all, not at all. It is a delight merely to hear you speak, dear lady. It seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice? We don't have one of those.
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. Oh. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony,
Scratches.
I will give you scratches. I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Yes, Your Excellency. What was that noise you made? Then you may proceed with the cross-examination.
I am happy for scratches.
You're a slut for scratches, yes. I know.
I am a slut.
For scratches, right?
That too.
For scratches, right?
That too.
Yeah. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses and toast. As far as I've heard...
Yes.
It's either this or the next one. Yes, it's written here in the paperwork. Fatal hemorrhage from ballistic trauma.
Whee! Lucky for all of us, a little burn on the wrist isn't going to kill us. And as there were no other signs of trauma on the victim's body to indicate some other cause of death, it could only have been from the bullet from your gun that put an end to this innocent man's life.
But it doesn't make sense. The burn must have happened straight away, when the plate was first brought to the table by the waiter. Yes, that's true. If it had cooled even slightly, it wouldn't have been able to make a burn like that. And if the victim burned his wrist on the hot plate as soon as it was brought out from the kitchen, then he must have already been dead at that point.
And yet, the fact is that the victim was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Until you're able to show the court evidence to disprove that, this is a complete waste of time.
Alright, then I probably have to do the cheering statement. Ah.
And we'll probably have to look at her glass.
Not that one.
Yes.
That one. Let's see. As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water, is that right?
Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember. Which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although...
Although?
Whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water that I delivered to the steak to the table. Wait a fucking second. Why would you bring out the drinks at the same time as the meal? You... Come on, man. You had to take time to cook that steak. I mean, I guess it was 2 p.m. and there was only 2 other people in the restaurant. I'm afraid I don't remember that.
Sorry. I
I have enough English to understand that, at least. For the benefit of others in the court, it means, bless you.
I think it means the exact opposite.
In effet.
Maybe I'd press on that one. This is a suspicious statement.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what we have to press evidence against. Or I have it backwards. No, because if I press this, they'll be like, but what if he was, like, poisoned or something?
If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height, however a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body. Quite right, dear lady. Your voice is the fucking worst. I thought you were supposed to be a one-and-done prosecutor. Get the fuck out of here.
So I can stop doing your grating voice.
Wheezing voice.
Wheezy voice! And as our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector
You did that on purpose. As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces with all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark.
If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life.
What are you doing? Don't... No, don't drink my Gatorade. Because I need those for my lunches. What? Because I like to drink Gatorade for lunch? Please put it back. You have so much water! Do you want to head to Aldi's and get juice? No? No? You
I
don't?
worked hard today.
You worked hard? Alright.
So you go get juice.
Okay, I'll do that when we're done.
Oh no, perish the shot! Calling such a sweet young lady's innocence.
I skipped a line, didn't I?
On my honor, I...
Wait, what? Oh, he was mistaking. He thought Brett was saying young man in reference to him. A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. Okay, we have no evidence. Actually, I think we might be able to, like, present the glass picture, but maybe that's too far of a leap.
Yes!
I'm gonna see if we can get anything from pressing this statement first.
In the lands of Great British Empire, the police store everything found at the crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once and that's the end of it. Isn't that so? Quite right. La Caraval is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident. What a terrible place to go eat food. There's blood still on the floor. Exactly, which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost.
Is there a question?
You got something to say there?
It doesn't even occur to your naive detectives to try to preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? Ha ha ha! Killer blow! The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful!
Amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Awichi is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't quite seem right. I'm actually really happy about this because this is a what's it called? This is an aspect from the Layton crossover game that didn't show up in the rest of the series. So I'm glad that they brought it back.
What?
Multiple witnesses and them able to contradict each other. Like, I know that that's what this is leading to, because the same symbol appeared over his head. And I mean, obviously, they've got the multiple witnesses, so I figured it was on its way. Alright, I know, Kazuma, shut the fuck up. What's with these in-between cross-examination dialogues being so long? There is one thing I noticed, something that's been bothering me. You mean, about Miss Brett? No. It's about him. Inspector Hasanaga. Detective? Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If I might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. You think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's use the touchscreen to look at the detective. But Kazuma, there is no touchscreen. We're on the Nintendo Switch, which technically still has a touchscreen. Fuck! I'll find out soon enough, I suppose. Once I press... I know! Game, just let me fucking do it.
Yes! Wait.
Okay. Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts.
May I continue with my testimony? Or are you two done blabbering over there?
It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It all has to do with the witness marker. What marker? At the moment, we focused on Miss Brett, who's the person actually making the current statement. Yeah, this is definitely something that's meant to be done on the touchscreen. Ah, yes, that other pesky control pad. By moving the marker left and right with the control pad, you can turn your attention to other people in the stand. While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with A. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people on the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so first I should move the marker across with blah 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 and focus on the detective. Then pursue him with A and see what's on his mind. Here we go. Exactly blah 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 blah.
Are you gonna go focus on it?
They wouldn't let me up to this point. Hi.
Excuse me.
Excuse me. What's the meaning of this? I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his own thoughts, deeply. Looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say. If there's something you'd like to say, please, share with the court.
What is the meaning of this? It is the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not.
Hmm?
The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yeah, what he said.
Not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case.
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? No. Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak. The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hasanaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. So you took shit from the crime scene. Crime scene thief. Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Oh shit. Is that... This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day, and that's why he's bleeding, because he was drinking the poisoned bottle of fucking water. And yes, it's lost all its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. But not today, because I've been drinking evidence. God, I'm so thirsty. Can't say I condone.
Himself.
Huh?
He tasted it himself.
So fucking dumb.
Can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence.
Okay. Alrighty then, so now we have that.
Miss Brett, can you confirm that this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question.
Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will try and kindly control his fervor.
Okay. So now we have the bottle, but I don't think the bottle does any. Oh, we gotta inspect that shit. That
Inspect
didn't do anything. Oh, because I pressed the wrong button. Label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. It's just scribbles, guys. You know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. This must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask! You could just say that you don't know. So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. Looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this to keep me going. No, Ryunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke, in more ways than one. I wonder, could there be anything in this water? Oh my god! We literally figured out the whole case like 20 minutes ago. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility.
Have a drink. Here, ma'am. Have a drink.
Okay. So...
think that's it.
That didn't do anything. Fuck. Maybe
you have to present it to her.
yeah,
and
I'm
say-
gonna save. I'm gonna start just fucking guessing.
Yes!
Well, what about that last statement made by the witness? No, I don't know what's going on here, but shut the fuck up. Exactly. Perfectly reasonable in every way. Perhaps you should take a leaf out of the witness's book and learn to be more reasonable yourself. Alright, I just need to calm down and think of everything through again from the start. Okay.
That one. Show her. Show her the bottle.
Alright.
Yes!
Did it. Hold on. Oh, there's no levels to the... Oh, damn it. Whatever. Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Uh-oh. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Something that no one else has even considered up to this point. Poison? That's exactly what I said. Poison. On the day of the death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? I feel like he figured it out. Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order, order, order! No order! And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could possibly have done it. Giselle Brett! It was you!
Objection!
This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without even a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile, have you even considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty? This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
And actually, I'd like to point out, when it's sending an innocent Japanese student for the crime of an English woman on Japanese soil caused the Japanese to be really pissed off at the English and break that.
Well, they've already established that the Japanese government wants to impress the British one. They don't. You're right. They should be mad, but they're not going to be. If I may. I will silence you forever for this. Shut up. It is you who should be silent. Of course. Dear lady! Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies. I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring? I described your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not. Of course. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And? What did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time.
But it's not from this country.
We can find no trace of poison in any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. What? Are you sure?
In the description?
The tests were meticulous. Yeah, let me just.
Oh, in any description.
Yeah.
Okay.
The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. No! I'm very grateful to all you I don't like where this is going. You've successfully established my complete innocence of this horrid affair. Alright, thank you.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours.
I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Which is why exactly he must not have been poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution has asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience that this has caused you, Miss Brett. Oh no. I'm just glad the matter is resolved. Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this time? Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving. She's gonna fade out. I guess not.